Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to give you guys 10 optimization hacks in the rank and rent business. This is going to allow you to rank your sites better. And in the rank and rent business, if you can't rank your sites, then you don't have a truly thriving business. I'm somebody that's been doing the rank and rent business for over 10 years. And these are the top 10 hacks. And stick till the end because I added a bonus hack at the very end, the 11th one, which is going to allow you to make more money with rank and rent. I've made a new twist to this business where you don't just rent out the website for a cheap $500 a month or something like that. I actually able to make these sites way more profitable. All right, so before we get to that, number one, don't target saturated low ticket niches like plumbing or HVAC. These are highly specialized skill, and it's just one of those niches where there's huge companies that's dominating these niches. It's very saturated and it's also low ticket. I like targeting higher ticket niches where a job can easily go up to $5,000 and up. Most plumbing and HVAC jobs are like a couple $100. If we go to Google Maps, you'll quickly see what I mean. I'm just in Google Maps. I just searched plumbers and look at all the listings. We got a listing with 1,350 reviews, 187, 246, 97, 1,241, 2,712. There's huge companies that exist in plumbing, and same with HVAC. If you look, we got a listing with 1,370 reviews. This one has 6,000 reviews, 327, 286, 1,013, 168. This guy has 3,541 reviews. Okay, and on the contrary, let's go into more like home construction, renovation, these kind of niches. Custom cabinets in Dayton, Ohio. You got a listing with 16 reviews, 18 reviews, 31 reviews, 8 reviews, 4 reviews, 14 reviews, 11 reviews. So this is what I mean. And there's some other niches that are maybe too specialized that you want to avoid, like foundation repair. In my community, I even share even more niches that people should avoid, or I give a good reason as to why. And before anybody thinks that custom cabinets is too obscure of a niche, trust me when I tell you that it's not. I have a lot of custom cabinet sites that I'm ranking and generating leads in Los Angeles. Let me give you an example. This is a quote that I got from my client, and because my client pays me commission, instead of just renting the site out, they pay me in commission. This was a job for a custom cabinets here, and this job was for $4,956. And our commission on this was roughly about $500. When it comes to rank and rent, like niche selection is literally the most important thing to get right. Because if you screw this step up, you could waste a couple months of hard work. Again, I like all kinds of home construction niches where an average job can be worth a couple $1,000s. We're talking roofing, like window replacement, drywall, concrete. And I also like some of the sub niches within these niches, like commercial roofing, for example. But let's move on to number two. Number two is you should have city and the main keyword in the name of the brand and in the domain. So here's what I mean. So here's one of the sites that I built roughly 5 months ago, and it's already ranking on page 1, huntingtonbeacheliteroofing.com. As you can see, the city name is in the domain Huntington Beach, and then we have the main keyword roofing there as well. The brand name Huntington Beach Elite Roofing, again having the city Huntington Beach and roofing as the brand name. Okay, this is also in the logo. And again, if you go to all the social media pages, the brand name is repeated across all the social media pages. This is a Facebook business page, Huntington Beach Elite Roofing. Without getting too into the details, why is it advantageous to have the city and the main keyword as your brand or in the domain is because Google likes to rank brands. And at the end of the day, Google's algorithm cannot tell a difference if somebody's searching roofing Huntington Beach or roofing in Huntington Beach versus I now have a brand Huntington Beach Roofing or Huntington Beach Elite Roofing. Okay, it's similar to when you search Best Buy, the company Best Buy shows up. Google knows about the brand. Google has developed a knowledge graph that has mapped out all the brand and the entities on the internet. If you were to Google Apple, you're gonna get the technology company that sells the iPhone. Now, can you rank brands without the city name in the brand? Yes, you can, but my point is when you have the city in the brand, you can rank easier. And in rank and rent, what we're trying to do is rank with as least effort/resources as possible, because the way to make money in this business is to not just build one rank and rent site, right? It's to build more and more over time. So we want to get the W as quickly and efficiently as possible. With that being said, I like to add some words like elite or superior or whatever, some word like that to make it actually look like a real brand, as opposed to stay away from highly aggressive exact match domains or keyword stuffed brand names, like for example, best roofer Huntington Beach CA. That would be a little bit too keyword stuffed and it doesn't look like a real brand. Number 3, let's talk about homepage title. The homepage title is the most important thing after the brand name, and a lot of people screw this up, and I have to really make a distinction that this is different than your brand name. This is the words that come after the brand name, and this is very crucial, and let me explain why. Let me pull up my site again here, Huntington Beach Elite Roofing. If I pull up the site, this is the homepage title, right? So we have the brand name, Huntington Beach Elite Roofing, and then we got some words after. If we open the site and put your cursor over the tab, you can see the homepage title at the top, Huntington Beach Elite Roofing, commercial flat roof replacement and repair experts is what it says in total. Now, don't worry about the fact that some words are cut off. Google will still read rest of the whatever words you put in. Obviously, for click-through rate, you want the most important words to come to the left. Also, even for SEO purposes, whatever words comes to the left is the most important. And the reason why we put commercial flat roof replacement, right here I spelled out the entire homepage title, okay? And the homepage title is the most important because in most of these local lead gen sites or rank and rent sites, really the homepage is gonna rank for most of your traffic, most of your keywords. We already know that we have to put the brand name at the very front of the homepage title. However, what are we gonna put the rest of the words here? And you wanna prioritize the most important words to the far left, which in this case, we put commercial, and then we have the words flat roof replacement. And the reason why for this site, we are really targeting commercial flat roof replacement or commercial roofing for that matter is because talking to my client, they specialize in commercial roofing. He said like only 1% of roofing companies can do the massive multi-million-dollar commercial roofing projects that they can. So they have a competitive advantage and they're willing to travel much greater distance to go to a commercial roofing site. So knowing that, at first the site was optimizing for residential roofing, roof repair, and these kind of keywords. However, you have to understand those residential roof repairs might only be like $5,000 to $10,000, whereas commercial flat roof replacement, now we're talking the ballpark of $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 jobs, sometimes even much, much more. Knowing this, we've decided to completely change the optimization of this site to go after commercial roofing. This is why these words are to the left. Now, how can you use this to your advantage? Let's say if you have a concrete site and you get a lot of lucrative leads for concrete driveways, maybe driveway is one of the words that you must make sure to include after your brand name. That's just one example. Now, very naturally, I'm going to bleed into on-page optimization now that the title is optimized. Number 4 is going to be the headings on your site. The first paragraph, particularly the first section after each heading, but really to just make it very simple for you guys, the heading, what words you put in the headings, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 of the homepage is vastly important. So look here, you should only have one H1 on the entire homepage. H1 is basically going to be almost like a repeat of your homepage title. We have the brand name, and then we have the most important words, commercial flat roof replacement and repair experts, which is fine. So I see some people sticking just other random words in the H1. Keep it tight, keep it very keyword centric. We have the city, which is important. We have the main keyword roofing, and then we have the next most important thing, commercial. We purposely put flat roof or roof replacement before repair because roof replacement generates much higher ticket jobs than repairs, okay? So the order of the words in here is all thought out. Expert is not really an important keyword. This is why we're not gonna put expert to the front. We're not gonna say expert commercial flat roof because that is a waste of space. Experts, we put it at the very end. This is the least important word in this equation. I always also make sure that the first paragraph reads very well on the home page. You wanna repeat, I like to repeat the brand name right away to reinforce this brand. And I also explain very clearly what this brand is so that Google's algorithm can understand and map this brand in its knowledge graph. I also like to show some sort of expertise that the brand has. So in this example, we have 28 years of experience, or rather my client does, and it gets right into what this company specializes in, commercial and residential roof replacement and repair. By the way, if you're wondering that this site is ranking or not, I should have shown this a little bit earlier, but in incognito mode, I searched commercial roofing, Huntington Beach, California, and my site's already on page 1. And mind you, this site has only been put up like 5 months ago, and it's already generating leads even without the Google My Business or Google Map listing. Again, I have access to client CRM where I'm able to track every job that these sites generate, which I'll get into a little bit later. Going back to the headings, so we got the heading 1 here, and then we're gonna go down into H2s. Remember, I changed the ordering of the H2s on this homepage because I wanted it more and more optimized for commercial roofing instead. So what you'll find is that most of the H2s here all have the word commercial roofing, or it's about commercial roofing, our commercial roofing services, and it goes right into, this is gonna be H2. And again, it's a good idea to use H2s and then H3s below it to break down the H2. It gives a better structure and it allows Google to see that the site is well structured and it's able to understand the site much easier. Commercial roof replacement, commercial roof repair, flat and low slope roofing, these all break down all the commercial roofing services that this company offers. It keeps going down here, metal roofing, sloped roofing, commercial roof, right? These are all gonna be H3s. Here's another topic now, which is why we're going to use another H2. What types of material do you use for commercial roofs? And then we're even breaking down materials used for our commercial roofing. We're not just putting random content in here. We're writing content so that Google understands that our content is more robust and it's covering a lot more topics, subtopics within a topic than most competitors, which becomes a ranking signal over time. And also having all this content that's well structured helps with conversions as well. It's gonna make your site look a lot more professional and trustworthy so that people actually want to call this company and book an appointment. Okay, we have another topic here. What commercial roofing issues do we fix? And we go into different issues that commercial roofing faces. How much does commercial roof replacement cost? Again, I'll get into a little bit more of this later, but this is more very helpful content that the end user might really want more information about. And if they are able to find this kind of information on my site, they're gonna spend more time on my site, which increases their dwell time and increases my ranking ability. How long does commercial roof replacement take? This is another great section because what do people really want to know most of the time when they buy products or services, right? How much is it going to cost and how long is it going to take? So you can see that all this is laid out in a purposeful manner. And then we go into our 5-step roof replacement process. Again, this is more helpful content because I know that my client works with insurance companies to submit claims and approvals. They work with insurance claims and deductibles, so we wanted to outline that in this process. And also, commercial roofing is a big ticket purchase. If you want to hire a company, this is something that you probably are going to have questions about. What does it take? What are the processes and the steps needed for your company to begin on my commercial roofs? So as you can see, you guys can analyze this site, but every new topic there's a H2, and then below it we use H3 to break that topic down even further. Now down below we also have our residential services, because why not? These sites will pick up leads for residential as well, even though it's not the primary focus. We put this section here just so that if somebody's looking for residential, they can clearly see that we do residential as well. But take note that this is at the bottom of the site. And so us having commercial content at the top of the site is telling Google that this site is really more about commercial, which is one of the reasons why we're already ranking for commercial roofing in Huntington Beach, California. Okay, number 5, your homepage content should have some unique value of the company and helpful content such as FAQ. Think about the biggest questions that people might have. Why? Because at the end of the day, I like dealing with high ticket niches in rank and rent. And high ticket niches, you're dealing with more sophisticated buyers where this is not towing, this is not junk removal. These people are buying something, their roof, maybe a new home construction, home renovation. These jobs are $20,000, $30,000 plus. They're gonna want to hire an expert to do the job, and your homepage should reflect that. So a couple things. Your homepage needs to be authoritative. I know this word gets used a lot, but what that means is it needs to have actual helpful content that people are gonna find value in reading, which increases, again, dwell time, which is gonna help you rank your site at the top of the homepage over time, because Google is tracking user signals through the Chrome browser. And also your homepage needs to be persuasive. Think of every landing page that people are building on ClickFunnels for paid ads. What they put as the copy of those landing pages can make a difference of 3-4% click-through rate, and that could mean the difference of a profitable campaign and an unprofitable campaign. Obviously, we're not running paid ads, so we don't have to be as strict about click-through rate and conversion rates. However, when you are able to put effort and do these things, and most local service company websites are not doing these things, it can make a huge difference, especially when one job can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, okay? So just real quick, going back to Huntington Beach EliteRoofing.com example, just look, so we have pictures like this that show immediate. So right after the intro, what I have here is this copy, okay? Why we are the best commercial roofer in Huntington Beach, California, and Orange County. This is a very important piece to this homepage, because at the end of the day, what is a homepage trying to do? It's trying to convince or persuade people that they should hire us over other companies, right? So don't make your homepage go on and be wordy about basic information that people already know about commercial roofing or whatever. I'm gonna go right into why you should hire us over other companies. And this is a lot of unique content here that I got from my client, and which, by the way, in my community as a student, you can choose to generate leads for my commercial roofing client and you'll get paid straight commission. I have a whole dashboard where it tracks everything. But this commercial roofer is really good at what they do. They have 28 years experience. They have a C36 roofing contractor license, which is a special commercial roofing license. I didn't even know this, but most roofing companies can only do residential. Even though they try to do commercial, oftentimes they'll screw up the job and it creates a big issue for other companies. Completed large-scale commercial roofing projects worth over $3.7 million. This is all true. They've done jobs for the Sheraton Hotel, high-rise apartments, industrial buildings, large historic buildings, advanced commercial roofing skills. We've saved hundreds of unfinished roofing projects abandoned by other contractors who don't know about roof engineering and proper builds. This is also very true. These are all stories that I got from my client, okay? This is a client I've been working with for the last 7 years. I know them very well. Financially stable roofing company who have the capital to keep commercial projects going without delays. This is also another issue that most residential roofing companies run into. They run out of finances when there's delays. And also they work with top manufacturers, top materials. They also have more advanced technology like infrared moisture scanning, leak detection. And they also have warranty that most companies don't, like 50-year golden pledge warranty on shingle roofs, 30-year warranty on commercial flat roofs, no dollar limit warranty, guarantee full replacement if the roof fails. This is all real stuff that my client told me is what separates them from all the other roofing companies. So when you're working with a client or when you're in the rank and rent business, what makes the biggest difference is finding that A-level, A+ player or / business owner / operator, and then asking them what makes them better than all the other companies. And that should be one of the focal points of your homepage. And then your homepage should also have a robust FAQ section. As you can see, how do I know if a commercial roof needs repair or for replacement? What type of roof system is best suited for my building? So these are all, a lot of these questions are going to be geared towards commercial roofing. Now, if your focus is on concrete driveway and if you stamp concrete, make sure you have questions about that. Whatever your main focus is, make sure you have some questions and really good answers that fulfill those queries, because these are longer tail questions that people might be searching in Google, and you have a chance of ending up in a snippet. You have chances of one of the LLMs picking up your answers. You also will potentially rank for those queries, which increases the impression of your site. And then Google will factor towards your site having more authority than another site with less impression. Some people call this query responsiveness, which basically means when one document is able to answer many different types of related queries, Google will automatically force to put higher quality score on your article, because at the end of the day, Google will have these things in their algorithm because they rather rank one document for many different related queries as opposed to ranking 30 different documents. If they had to rank 30 different documents, it would be more costly for Google. Number 6 is very simple. Your images should be WebP format for much better compression. Just go to Google and search convert to WebP. So if you have any JPEG or PNG, most people use JPEG or PNG, right? And sometimes your image sizes are way too big. It increases load speed, which is bad on the homepage or any page for that matter. Just convert it to WebP and it should keep more or less the similar quality, but drastically reduce the image size. Now, if you have an image size that's 44,000 pixels wide, try to resize it first as well. All these homepages, the max you're gonna need any of these images is like 1200 pixels. You can even use a site like webresizer.com to resize the images first if you have an image size that big. Number 7, you should have a lead opt-in form on your homepage to generate not only email leads, but increase user engagement signals. Let's take a look at my other site, laqualitydrywall.com, which, by the way, this fairly new site, 3-4 months old, already ranking for drywall Los Angeles. Guys, I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing when it comes to ranking sites, ranking local lead gen sites. I'm one of the best at teaching this. But yeah, a lead opt-in form is basically this right here. I give free estimates. People fill out their name, email, phone number, describe the service you need, and then you hit submit, you get an email lead. Now, there's a few different reasons why this is good. Okay, first of all, if somebody lands on your site at 11 at night, okay, they might not want to call, okay, or your answering person might not have answered the phone off hours, right? And then they can go here and then submit an email lead. Or it might be midday and they're at a corporate job. They might be at an office and rather do this. That's number 1. Number 2, every time somebody fills this out and it takes them to a thank you page, Google's Chrome is watching that and it's counting that as user engagement signal. It's almost similar to a person going to an e-com store and buys a product and then it goes to a checkout page, and then after they check out, it goes to a thank you page, right? Google is going to count that as somebody engaged with this site, somebody purchased something from this site. And that signal right there is one of the most important thing, especially when it comes to battling for your supremacy on top of page 1, okay? Before you get to page 1 or 2, you're gonna need other metrics, but once you get near top of page 2, page 1, these user signals begin to matter a lot. Okay, in my community, there's other things that I cover that can increase user signals, and the more of these stack, the more permanent and powerful your rankings become, because most SEOs are still thinking about better content, better backlinks. No, guys, there's user signals. There's these other things like Google's more advanced algorithms are utilizing to rank sites of quality. Think of it. Let's just say it's like CBD gummies, right? If one site is getting more purchases than another site that has even more backlinks, backlinks can be manipulated. It's better for Google to rank the site that's getting more conversions and more sales. That's more of a clear signal to Google that the site is more of a quality. Now, Google cannot run these advanced algorithms across the World Wide Web because that would be too expensive. This is why backlinks and things like that still matter to get your site at least in the game. But once you're in the game, aka page 2, page 1, these user signals begin to matter, and then the more advanced algorithms begin to play a part, which very naturally leads me to the next thing. Might be a little opposite flipped here, but it's all good. Number 8, you should have brand trust signals and backlinks. Again, backlinks are still a core component of Google. Google calls it PageRank. It is the basis of how, PageRank, it is still the basis of how Google's algorithm works. And I don't think that's gonna go away ever, because it is like almost at the root or the foundation of Google's algorithm. And this is the innovative algorithm that Google's original founders came up with, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, in the late 90s, which is that they classify Google's like top most powerful sites. Okay, it's almost like a web structure, and all the sites that these sites link to, they deem as very quality sites. They figure only quality sites will link to other quality sites. This is all an attempt to fight spam. Google's constantly in the battle with spam. And then you might have another pool of sites over here, but these tend to be really spammy kind of sites, right? And the sites that these sites link to, Google is not going to prioritize in ranking. But these highly trusted sites, it's forming a web of these sites linked to other sites, those sites linked to other sites, and it forms like a web. The closer you can get your site to that center of the most trusted sites on the internet, the better you're going to rank. Before, it was much more simple to duplicate that trust score with backlinks, but these days, Google's algorithm tend to also value the traffic of the site where the backlink is coming from. There's many places where you can buy backlinks. Just know a couple things. If you pulled up a site and it might have high DR score or high trust score or whatever AI tool that you might be using. However, you should always look at the traffic metric of the site. If the site is not generating any traffic today, then the backlinks from that site might not be doing you much good. So just be wary of that. I even sell backlinks myself. You can go to ebay.com/backlinks, and the backlinks that I get are always going to be sites that have traffic. Because again, a site could have very high like DR score, but have no traffic. That could be a site that's been penalized by Google if it has no traffic. Or it had traffic in the past and that's how it got all its backlinks, but it was purchased by another person. They started doing shady stuff and now it got penalized by Google. Now it's got zero traffic, right? So when a site has been penalized by Google, I mean, that backlink is sort of waste of money. It's not really doing you anything. Obviously, the basic tenet, like always avoid cheap backlinks from places like Fiverr. Those things will always destroy your site in the long run. Here's a hot take. Even though I sell backlinks in local lead gen or rank, high quality backlinks are not always required to rank a site. It depends on the competitors. It depends on how big the city that you're trying to rank. If you're in a city size of like 30,000 population, chances are you probably may not need backlinks to rank in a city size like that, especially if you are using an exact match domain and putting the city and the main keyword in the domain and the brand. Oftentimes you will be able to rank with good quality content on the homepage without a backlink. So always keep that in mind. Sure, do backlinks give you an unfair advantage? Yes, absolutely. I can just show you some of the unfair advantage backlinks that I was able to get for Huntington Beach Elite Roofing. As you can see, I will soon be coming out with a platform where you can get 100 of these backlinks from actual real local service sites that have traffic. And this is one of the best links you can get because these are actual relevant sites you're getting backlinks from. We got sites like advancedacrepairservice.com, contractorpracticeexam.com, charteroakplumbing.com. And again, even though the niche is different, the fact that these are local service sites, Google will still classify these as very relevant. Again, more info on how to get these type of backlinks. Again, I'm going to be coming up with a platform. I will most likely just release it to my community first for a while, but more on that. Subscribe to this channel for more info on that as it comes out. I want to add another thing here, and we're constantly optimizing these home pages for better user signals. So, how you can build trust on your site is not just backlinks, but what's actually on the site as well, right? So you got references of the big commercial projects we've done, case studies of other big clients and big jobs. These all increase trust to the end user, which increases conversions. I always find like a really good one, having a picture of a team showing that this is not some small roof company that's operating on one truck. This is a big company. So a picture like this, notice we put it at the very top of the site. Again, these stock photos are not ideal. I got better pictures, actual pictures from my client. So we intend to put better pictures over time. I even got some before and after pictures from my client. My client also has videos. We intend to put some videos on these home pages later on. Again, these all increase trust signals, increased dwell time for the end user, which is ultimately going to help you rank and dominate the search engines. Number 9, you should have social media pages, and you should also be listed in the most important directories. So as you can see, we have all these social media pages connected at the bottom of the site. And you'll know that social media is important because even Google My Business will link to all the social media pages. I'm gonna tell you my favorite ones right now: Facebook business page, Instagram page, Twitter or X, YouTube channel, preferably at least one video. I make it with AI, Lumen 5. Pinterest is another easy one. LinkedIn is a good one, but if you're trying to scale, LinkedIn can sometimes block you from making more. So sometimes it's a hit or miss. When you search for the domain like huntingtonbeacheliteroofing.com, you should see these listings come up. Yelp is another good one. We got some directories that come up. Here's another search I like to do. I like to do the domain irvineeliteconcrete.com, and then I like to do minus site semicolon irvineeliteconcrete.com. Basically, it's saying search for this domain, but don't list it from the site itself. So now I'm able to see, yeah, we have a Yelp page, Facebook page, Pinterest. We have some directories here. I'm not sure why the Instagram isn't popping up, but ideally, before you verify for the GBP and rank and rent, you want all the social media to show up in the SERPs. I'm gonna tell you a few of very important citations that you should look into doing, which is Yellow Pages, which requires a phone verification. Not that hard to do. But once you get the Yelp verification, then you can get the Yahoo listing. Those are very important ones. Yelp as well is very important. BBB is another great one. However, sometimes it's more difficult because they might require some licenses and you might not have that in the rank and rent business. I have some other tricks of getting the BBB, but I won't. That's for a video for another day. I know there's places that sell like hundreds and hundreds of citations. In my opinion, most will not index in Google, and if a citation doesn't index in Google, you might as well not have done it. It's not doing you any good. So I find that when it comes to citations, like quality over quantity, Google really tends to increase the trust of your business if you are listed in their most trusted citation sources. Another way you can find other good citation sources is do a search of your competitors, right? Look at what other directories that your competitors are listed in Google. And if it shows that it's indexed in the Google SERPs, when you search for your competitor, then those are citation places that you probably want to get listed as well. Okay, number 10, your site should have closer to 50 pages targeting various long tail services and subsidies. I'm gonna make this pretty quick, but if you take a look at Huntington Beach Elite Roofing, look at all the service pages that we have built. Look at all the other services we have built, okay? Now, we're eventually gonna remove this from the menu and only gonna have the main services in the menu. However, all these hail damage or chimney flash and repair, all these long tail keywords that are completely further away from the main keywords. However, if they generate some traffic or even impression, it can go towards increasing the rankings of my entire site, because I'm telling Google that this site is bigger topical authority than other roofing companies in Huntington Beach, because most roofing companies, they don't build all these different pages. But then the interlinking is pretty key here. I'm not gonna interlink from the home page to all these service pages. These services pages are going to link to my homepage. So you can imagine a web of all these service pages. They're all linking towards my homepage. Almost you can picture funneling the link juice to my homepage instead of the other way around. Same with, I'm gonna create a bunch of location pages, right? Irvine, Signal Hill, all these little cities and suburbs, like 3,000 population, 5,000 population city, even 1,000 population city. I'm gonna build pages, because these are pages that other companies are not targeting so which means that these are going to be some of the first pages I'll be able to get some traffic and rank. Okay, let's go finally to bonus number 11, which is that instead of doing rank and rent where you build this big, powerful, badass site and it starts generating leads and you're so quick to wanting to close a deal that you sell it to a roofing company for $1,000 a month, instead of doing that, when I'm gonna put this much effort into a site, I'm not just gonna wanna rent it for $1,000 a month, okay? I'm gonna want to not just rent it to a business owner, but keep the site and sell the leads that's coming off of this site. 5% commission, sometimes in certain niches you can get 10% commissions, because if I generate a $200,000 commercial roof replacement job, that job will pay me like $5,000. I built the whole dashboard where I can track every single lead that I generate and it gets closed. I'm able to see it inside this dashboard, custom job monitoring here, and it's connected to my client's CRM, and I can show you right here is my client's CRM here. Here you can see all the leads coming in. This is some of the estimates that's been sent out. This was a $2 million commercial drywall job for Hyundai. This was a $30,000 job. This was a $280,000 job for an ADU, additional dwelling unit. This was recently closed as a $12,000 job, and I'm gonna get paid commissions on all these jobs. And this is what I mean. This is how, after doing the rank and rent for 10 years, I no longer want to go after a client that's just gonna pay me $500 or even $1,000 a month. I want to get these clients that I have access to their CRM, and I'm gonna get paid commission on every big job that I'm able to bring to the table. Because why? Because now I know how to make these big, powerful websites that can generate these lucrative, high-ticket jobs on autopilot. Now, if you want a step-by-step guide on how to build this entire business from scratch, even if you're inexperienced, then I have a community which you can join, link in the description. And also I have a program where my team does 80% of the work for you and me and you become partners. This is one of the reasons why I have so many case studies that I can show. Here you can see right now I'm working on 160 sites. A lot of these sites are already ranked, but I already have 16 done for you partners that I'm working with one-on-one. So this is for people that have more money than time. Basically, you're gonna be leveraging my 10 years of experience and being able to build actual true digital assets that's gonna keep paying for years and years to come. Now, with that being said, there's more than enough opportunities in this model for everybody, which is why on this YouTube channel, I plan to share more and more value for free. Because at the end of the day, people that are cheap, that don't believe in mentorship, they're gonna just try to get free information anyways. But the people that value true coaching and mentorship, they'll be able to listen to my content and understand that I know what I'm talking about. And those people are gonna be motivated to working more closer with me, whether it be joining my Done For You partnership or my community. And you may not be ready for mentorship yet. And if you're that person, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm gonna be sharing more and more hacks in rank and rent and local SEO. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you master the skill of being able to rank websites for service businesses and construction businesses, you'll never have to work a 9-to-5 ever again in your life. I've tried so many things on the internet. This is one of the most reliable skills to make money online. See you next time.